Deep in the heart of the jungle, hidden by towering trees and mist, lay Boomatheum. It was a village as old as time, where dinosaurs still roamed and danger was ever present. The people of Boomatheum were strong, their lives intertwined with the wild. But change was coming, a storm that would test their courage and shake their world. Brothers Dasa and Taja hunted in the jungle, their laughter echoing as they tracked their prey. Suddenly, raptors ambushed them, swift, deadly, relentless. Their older brother, Posa, drew the raptors away, sacrificing himself so Dasa and Taja could escape. Taja was badly wounded, and Dasa carried him, clutching a precious raptor egg, hope for their village. The jungle pressed in, every step a battle. Dasa's muscles screamed, but he pushed on, the weight of his brother and the egg heavy on his shoulders. They were close to home, but danger still lurked. Dasa's determination burned. He would not let Posa's sacrifice be in vain. The journey was far from over.
Taja, we're here, brother. We're safe.
Dasa stumbled into a clearing, exhaustion threatening to overwhelm him. He lowered Taja gently, clutching the egg, a reminder of all they'd lost. Taja's breath was shallow, his face pale. Dasa clung to hope, the egg's warmth a small comfort in the face of overwhelming grief.
Dasa, is it over?
It's over, Taja. We made it. Taja's hands trembled as he touched the eggs, but panic overtook him. One egg slipped and shattered.
No, the egg! I've cursed us! I've broken everything!
Dasa watched in horror as the egg shattered, but he refused to give in to despair.
You're alive. That's all that matters. We've got one egg left, and it's ours. Dasa recounted Posa's sacrifice, pouring hope and love into his words. Taja calmed, but pain and guilt lingered.
My leg's gone, Dasa. I'm no hunter anymore. The gods broke that egg through me. Leave me. Take the egg and live.
But Dasa would not abandon his brother. He clung to hope, determined to survive together.
Never. You're my brother, Taja. This egg is for you, for Posa, for all of us. I'm carrying you home, and that's final.
With desperate strength, Dasa hoisted Taja onto his back and began the long journey home. The jungle closed in, but Dasa pressed on, fueled by hope and love. The fate of their family rested on his shoulders. Dasa staggered into Boomatheum, the village silent as he entered.
Liar! His mother rushed to him, her face etched with fear.
My sons, Dasa, Taja, where is Posa? Why is he not with you?
The villagers gathered, sensing tragedy. Dasa's heart ached with the truth he could barely speak.
Dasa lowered Taja gently, unable to meet his mother's gaze.
Posa, my brave, strong Posa, gone?
Dasa, tell us what happened. Tell us how my son, your brother, died.
Dasa recounted the raptor attack and Posa's sacrifice.
He saved us, Mother. He saved us both.
Posa, he died a hero. I would be dead without him.
Their words brought both pain and pride to their grieving family. Silence fell as the village mourned.
Dasa, you have returned from the jaws of death and brought hope. This egg belongs to the ancestors. Dasa placed the egg on the altar, its surface cool and smooth. Vera chanted, calling on the spirits for guidance. The villagers joined in, their voices a chorus of grief and hope.
Dasa, I'm so sorry about Posa.
As darkness fell, Maya's presence offered Dasa comfort. He realized he wasn't alone in his grief. The village shared his burden. He took Maya's hand, drawing strength from her touch. Together, they found a fragile peace in the shared silence. Days passed, the memory of Posa's sacrifice ever present.
What if I'm not strong enough? What if I fail?
You won't fail, Dasa. You have a good heart. You will honor Posa's sacrifice.
Her words sparked hope in Dasa's chest. He made a silent vow to protect his village and honor his brother. The egg on the altar became the village's hope. Weeks passed, and the egg began to pulse with life, cracks glowing faintly. One night, the earth trembled, and the villagers gathered breathless. The egg glowed, cracks spreading across its surface.
This is it.
Dasa, I'm scared, but I think we're ready.
Dasa stood beside Taja, their eyes meeting in understanding. The egg was hatching, and with it the future of Bumatheum. With a deafening crack, the egg split open, releasing a blinding flash of light and a roar so loud it shook the very foundations of Bumatheum. The villagers cried out, shielding their eyes from the unexpected brilliance. Dust and debris filled the air, momentarily hiding the altar from view. As the dust settled, a collective gasp swept through the clearing. Standing there on unsteady legs, its tiny body trembling with newfound life, was a creature unlike anything the villagers had ever seen before. It was a hatchling, sure, but not the gentle herbivore they had all expected. This creature was a predator, its small body already radiating an aura of power and menace.
A T-Rex.
The name, spoken with such fear, echoed through the clearing, sending chills down the spines of even the bravest hunters. A T-Rex was a creature of legend, a monster from nightmares, its reputation for ferocity and power unmatched in the known world.
This is no gift from the ancestors. This is a curse, a monster that will be the death of us all.
Fussa's words, fueled by panic, found fertile ground in the hearts of the terrified villagers. Dasa, his heart pounding in his chest, watched as the hatchling stumbled on its unsteady legs, its large eyes blinking in the sudden light. It was small, vulnerable, its skin still wet from the egg. It was nothing like the fearsome predator the villagers imagined. It was his. He pushed through the crowd, ignoring the gasps and murmurs of disbelief, and knelt beside the hatchling. It looked up at him, with large, unfocused eyes, a low, rumbling growl coming from its throat. Dasa reached out a hand, moving slowly and carefully, and gently stroked the creature's head. Its skin was surprisingly soft and warm to the touch.
He's just a baby.
Dasa's voice was firm, even though his chest trembled. He looked up at the faces of his village, seeing the fear and anger reflected in their eyes.
He's not a monster, he's mine, and I'll protect him.
Protect him? You can't protect us from that thing, boy. It's a T-Rex, for pity's sake. It will tear us all to shreds.
Dasa stood his ground, his gaze unwavering.
He won't hurt anyone.
His voice rang with conviction as he looked at Vera, the village elder, her face etched with concern, but also maybe a flicker of curiosity.
Give him a chance, please.
The clearing fell silent. The only sounds were the hatchling's soft growls and the leaves rustling in the night breeze. Vera studied the hatchling, her gaze sharp and unwavering. Then she turned to Dasa, her expression unreadable.
A T-Rex is a creature of instinct, Dasa. Its very nature is to hunt, to kill. Can you, a mere boy, control the heart of a beast?
Dasa met her gaze, his own eyes filled with a determination that surprised even himself.
I will raise him as one of us. He will learn our ways, respect our laws. If he ever strays from that path, I will be the one to lead him back to the wild. This I swear.
A wave of murmurs swept through the villagers. Some shook their heads in disbelief, while others watched with a cautious curiosity. Vera raised her hand, silencing the crowd. She looked at Dasa, her gaze piercing, measuring his resolve.
So be it. The hatchling will be allowed to stay, but know this, Dasa. The responsibility for its actions rests solely on your shoulders. If it harms even a single soul in this village, you will be held accountable.
Dasa nodded, his heart heavy with the weight of her words. He knew the risks, the dangers of raising a creature like this in their midst. But he also knew, with an unshakable certainty, that this was his path, his burden to bear. The fate of the hatchling and the future of Bumatheum rested on his shoulders. The days grew into weeks and then months. The hatchling, now christened Dole by Dasa, really thrived under his care. He grew at an astonishing rate, his once fragile body transformed into a whirlwind of muscle and energy. His roars, which started as soft little chirps, became booming calls that echoed through the jungle, sending shivers down the spines of the villagers.
Easy, Dole. Remember only what we need. We honor the life we take.
Dasa remained steadfast in his devotion to Dole, spending his days teaching him the ways of their people, instilling in him a respect for the delicate balance of life in the jungle. He taught Dole to hunt, not for sport, but for sustenance, emphasizing the importance of taking only what they needed, honoring the circle of life and death. Dole, for his part, seemed to understand. He would follow Dasa everywhere, his large eyes watching his every move, his powerful tail wagging with a puppy-like enthusiasm that, well, just completely belied his predatory nature.
No, Dole, stay with me. You're safe. I'm right here.
There were close calls, moments when Dole's instincts threatened to overpower his training. But Dasa never wavered, his voice firm, his touch reassuring, always guiding Dole back from the brink. But despite Dasa's efforts, a shadow of fear continued to hang over Bumatheum. Dole's presence was a constant reminder of the power he possessed, a power that could so easily be turned against them. The villagers, though initially tolerant of Dasa's bond with the young T-Rex, grew increasingly uneasy as Dole grew larger, his roars more frequent, his presence more imposing. Dasa, acutely aware of the villagers' growing apprehension, found himself, increasingly isolated. He continued to train Dole to nurture their bond, but the whispers followed him like shadows, their words sharp as spear points. He was accused of recklessness, of putting his own desires above the safety of the village.
Dasa, please, I'm begging you. Think of the village. Think of your family. You must let him go before it's too late.
But Dasa refused to abandon Dole. He had made a promise, sworn an oath on his brother's memory, to protect the hatchling, to guide him towards a different path.
I can't, Amma. I promised. He's not just a beast, he's family.
He saw the good in Dole, the intelligence that flickered behind those large reptilian eyes, the capacity for loyalty and affection that belied his fearsome appearance. The price of his loyalty, however, was high. His friendships frayed, his connection to his village strained under the weight of their fear and his unwavering determination. He became a solitary figure, his only solace the companionship of the creature he had sworn to protect, a creature that represented both hope and danger in equal measure.
They'll see, Dole. One day they'll understand. We can belong here. Both of us.
Dasa clung to the belief that he could bridge the divide, that he could prove to his people that Dole was more than just a monster, that he was capable of coexisting with them, of becoming a part of their world. But as Dole grew larger, his presence more imposing, Dasa's hope began to dwindle, his resolve tested with each passing day.
The whispers. They just kept getting louder, turning from quiet worries into open accusations.
Fasa, his weathered face etched with disapproval, became Dasa's most vocal critic. He never missed an opportunity to remind Dasa and anyone within earshot of the danger Dole posed, of the inevitable day when his predatory instincts would overpower his training.
You're playing with fire, boy. One day that beast will turn on us. It's in his blood, in his very nature. And when that day comes, you'll have the blood of this entire village on your hands.
Dasa, weary of the constant accusations, tried to ignore Fasa's warnings, but they wormed their way into his thoughts, fueling the doubts that plagued his waking hours. He would lie awake at night, listening to Dole's soft snores, his heart a knot of anxiety in his chest. He knew Fasa was right in a way. Dole was a predator, his instincts honed by millions of years of evolution. But Dasa also saw the affection in Dole's eyes, the way he would nuzzle against him, seeking comfort and reassurance. He clung to the belief that love, patience and understanding could triumph over instinct, that Dole could learn to control his nature, to become a part of their world. But as the whispers grew louder, the fear more palpable, Dasa couldn't shake the feeling that he was fighting a losing battle, that time was running out. The tension in Bumathayam was as tangible as the humidity that clung to the jungle air. Dole's presence, once a source of wonder and fear, became a divisive force, splitting the village into two camps. Those who believed in Dasa's vision of coexistence and those who saw Dole as a threat, a ticking time bomb waiting to explode.
I found myself walking a tightrope, trying to keep the peace, to make both sides happy while keeping my promise to Dole. But it just kept getting harder and harder. Every little thing that happened got blown out of proportion, twisted by fear and distrust.
One day, a group of children, their curiosity overcoming their fear, approached Dole while he slept. Dole, startled awake, let out a roar that sent the children scattering, their screams echoing through the village. Though no one was hurt, the incident served as a catalyst, igniting the smouldering embers of fear into a raging fire. Fasa, seizing the opportunity, rallied the villagers, his words laced with venom and fear.
Dole needs to be banished. Cast him out before he brings real harm to Bumathayam.
The villagers, their fear outweighing their reason, echoed his sentiments, their voices a chorus of anger and resentment. Dasa, his heart sinking, realized that the storm he had been dreading was finally breaking. The fragile peace he had fought so hard to maintain was shattered, and the fate of his beloved Dole, the future of Bumathayam, hung precariously in the balance.
As the anger swirled around me, I suddenly felt a familiar hand slip into mine. I looked down, and there was Maya, standing right beside me, her eyes full of that fierce determination I'd seen before.
Dasa, don't listen to them. They're blinded by fear, unable to see what we see.
Her gaze shifted to Dole, who was watching the commotion with a wary curiosity, his massive head tilted slightly, as if trying to decipher the torrent of emotions directed at him.
He's different, Dasa. You've taught him, loved him, shown him a different way. Don't let their fear extinguish the light you've kindled within him.
Her words were like a cool breeze on a scorching day, soothing Dasa's troubled heart, reminding him of the bond he shared with Dole, a bond that transcended fear, instinct and the prejudices of their people. He looked at Maya, her face illuminated by the flickering firelight, and felt a surge of gratitude for her unwavering belief, her steadfast presence in his life. They stood together, their hands clasped, their gazes fixed on Dole, a silent vow passing between them. They would face this challenge together, united in their love for Dole, their belief in the inherent goodness that resided within him, however deeply buried it may be. The path ahead would be fraught with danger, uncertainty, and the ever-present weight of the villagers' fear, but they would face it head-on, their hearts filled with a fragile hope, a glimmer of light in the encroaching darkness. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the village clearing, a sense of uneasy anticipation settled over Bumathayam. The villagers, their anger momentarily subdued, dispersed to their huts, their hearts heavy with unspoken fears, their dreams haunted by images of razor-sharp teeth and blood-curdling roars.
My own heart felt so heavy, weighed down by a responsibility I could barely understand. I led Dole out to the edge of the village, to the clearing where I'd built his little enclosure.
Dole, sensing Dasa's somber mood, moved with uncharacteristic hesitation, his massive head lowered slightly, his tail drooping.
As I locked the entrance, Dole nudged me with his head, just wanting a little comfort. I scratched behind his ear, feeling those rough scales, and listened to that low, rumbling sound he makes when he's content. "It's all right, boy. It's all right."
But even as he spoke the words, a sliver of doubt pierced his heart. Was it all right? Could he truly protect Dole from the fear and hatred that festered within his own village? Could he bridge the chasm that separated them? convince his people that Dole was more than just a monster, that he was capable of coexisting with them, of becoming a part of their world. As darkness enveloped Bumateam, swallowing the last vestiges of daylight, Dasa couldn't shake the feeling that a storm was brewing, a storm that threatened to consume everything he held dear. The fate of his beloved Dole, the future of his village, hung precariously in the balance, a testament to the enduring power of fear, the enduring strength of loyalty, and the unpredictable nature of a bond forged between a boy and a creature on the razor's edge of wildness.